All right, hey everyone, this is It's Who We Are podcast with Ben and Jen, and today we're continuing on the idea of appreciation and appreciation stories. Last time we talked about it a little bit. Today we're just sort of going to explain it a little bit more. So yeah.
Yeah. So I just thought we could maybe talk about how to start into appreciation. And like yesterday we said, just ask yourself simple things like, what am I thankful for today? Or what made me smile today? Who do I appreciate today? You can just start off with those simple thoughts and thinking about that. And they can be as simple as, like a bird singing or someone laughing, rain, sunshine, shadows, clouds, flowers, just anything. Anything that sort of jumps out to you. And it can be a hard thing to do, trying to think of something to appreciate. But I've found that a really good inspiration is to get your phone out and have a flick through your pictures, because you're always taking pictures of things that, that you're enjoying and that you're happy with. And, if you still can't get anything, if you're into God, you can ask him for a memory, because he's pretty good at popping thoughts into our minds too.
It's especially hard if you're feeling, or even like today, like I'm feeling a little bit sick.
Yeah.
Or not even really sick, but just a little bit down or whatever. It's especially hard to think of. Sometimes it's especially hard to think of things that you're thankful for or appreciation stories. But there are, even like we said last time, you can even find some of those really tiny things.
Yeah. Just the little things in life. Yeah. So, when you've sort of done that for a while and you're able to think of a few things, you can just start writing something down daily that you're thankful for. And then over a little bit of time, you can build it up to 3 things that you're thankful for. And when you get up to 3 things, you can pick your favourite and just expand on that. Just write a couple of little sentences. Just try to include as much as you can remember about who was there, where you were, when you were there, what you were doing, what did you see, hear, feel, taste, etc. All that sort of thing. But if you're looking for a little bit more information on that, there's a lady called Anne Voskamp. She's a Canadian, and she's done, I think it's a study or something, and it's called 1,000 Gifts. But if you go to YouTube, you can actually get a video of her explaining about these 1,000 gifts, and it's writing down 3 things that you're thankful for every day. So that's a bit of fun to watch if you want a bit more information about that.
Yeah, that was the video that you sent me that started me off on this writing down things every day.
So she started writing down 3 things every day till she got to 1,000. So that was her 1,000 gifts. Yeah.
But that, I think those points of just being thankful is almost an appreciation. It's not an appreciation story, but it's like it can be an appreciation story. Or it's a story or a point, an appreciation point that you've found in your life, something you can be thankful for.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah, sometimes it is,
I've found for myself that that's almost all that I need most of the time.
Yeah.
If I incorporate that in with my CO2 partner, then I check in with them and hear them, and then I talk to God or Jesus, then that's all that I need. Appreciation stories are really great, but I don't know. For me, the really simple way of doing things just makes it. If it's even a little bit hard, like writing down an appreciation story each day, I just won't do it. I like the extreme simplicity of things. So it can be any way, but I also know people who really love doing the daily appreciation log. And that's way more in depth than anything I've ever done.
Yeah, that's right. Everyone's different, and you just have to, work out what works for you. But as for me, I actually enjoy doing appreciation stories, and for years I did one every day, and I'd write it down in a book, and that would be how I'd start my day every day. And then a little while later, I found this app that you could, write your story in, and you could actually add a photo to it as well. So that was pretty good fun. Or you can just write it in your notes in your phone, whatever. Yeah,
however you like.
Whatever works for you.
So is that what you're doing at the moment, or it's different now?
Well, now really all I'm doing is checking in with my CO2 partner and sharing an appreciation story with her. So I'm not so much writing it down the way that I did.
Yeah.
But I've got some great books that I can go back to, if I'm sort of feeling a bit like I need a bit of a boost
Yeah.
and read them, think, oh yeah, like I forgot about that. That was so cool. That
It's
was
sort of like
a really good memory.
what we said last time. If you're intentionally practicing these things,
Yeah.
then it becomes spontaneous.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
God helps
Yeah.
you, helps it become. We've like intentionally practiced these stories, or however we do it, for years and years and years, and then you get to a point where you just are doing it without even
Yeah.
having to be intentional with it.
Yeah, that's right. It just becomes a part of who you are, really.
Yeah. Though we had a fun conversation around that in the leader team today. I said that being intentionally practicing, and then it becomes spontaneous, and
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it made so much sense to
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's the truth. I think that's certainly the truth for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
And it sounds like for you too.
Yeah. But no, I really enjoy doing appreciations. So, like I just start off by thinking of a memory, and it could be any time in my life from my very first memory until like 5 minutes ago. I think I've said that before as well. But I think about like what was going on in that memory, who was there, where I was, and I try to remember as many details as possible. And then I try to remember the emotions that I was feeling at the time, whether I was happy, excited, feeling loved, peaceful, amazed, just whatever emotions I remember from that time. And then you try and think of what you are actually feeling in your body, because that sort of, cements it all together, like your emotions, your mind, your body. And, like, was I smiling? Did I have goosebumps? Did I have tears of joy? Did I feel a lightness or freeness? So you put all that together. And then, again, if you're into God, you can ask him where he was in the memory. And writing down the story is a good way to record it, but it also sort of cements it in your mind. And if you don't like writing, like record it on your phone or, something like that. That's a good way to keep it as well, and something that you can go back to.
Well, you can do speech to text fairly easily.
Yeah.
Now. I hate typing. I hate like even especially typing on the phone. So just do a bit of speech to text is a simple way. Because you sort of need to be able to read it too, so you can go back to it if you need to. But if it's just a voice recording, then for me that wouldn't be as good. I don't think.
Yeah, fair enough. But it's good to be able to just record it in some way or another, whatever works for you. Yeah,
it is good to see, I suppose, and I think it would be really good for like if your grandkids or your kids found it. It's like keeping a diary. Like we might have found 100 years ago our grandparents writing.
Some cool stories and things, definitely. And then like apparently there's a huge benefit in telling your story to someone. Like it benefits you, but it also benefits the person that's hearing your story because it creates belonging, it helps build resilience. And like we said yesterday or last week or whenever, your brain just automatically starts looking for the good and happy things to be thankful for. It's that rewiring in your brain.
Yeah, and then it becomes spontaneous. Because we've practiced it for so long. Yeah.
But if you're telling your story, you just try to keep it to 2 minutes, because that's, that's a good length of time.
Well,
for
especially
someone.
if you're in a group.
Yeah, especially if you're in a group. Yeah. But, it just helps you, get through this tough stuff more easily when you've got, these little bundles of joy that you can go back to and remember and things like that. And it helps you get back to joy if you're feeling stressed or you're feeling uneasy or whatever else is going down for you.
I remember practicing this at the beginning when I'd never done it before, and it was always stressful to come up with an appreciation story for me. Like I was in a leader team or in a group, and it's like an appreciation story time, and I'm like, oh, I got nothing. But like I always, eventually, like if we have sometimes you take a break with the group just to think of one.
Yeah.
Always ended up coming up with one that would just pop into my mind. So. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. And at the beginning of this, you said, we should tell an appreciation story. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I already had one because I've done a lot today. But it's good.
Yeah. So should we have a practice?
Sure.
Just have a go?
You go first then.
Yep. All right. Well, this is a story that is just cemented in my mind for the rest of my life, I think. Just, the whole experience of it. It happened a few years ago when we're in husband. In America, my husband and I were just doing a little bit of a road trip, and we were going to all the national parks and things and just camping. We camped everywhere we went. And this night we went into this little town like in the middle of nowhere, and then we went up a valley and then up onto a mountain, and we camped on top of this mountain. It was just
In
beautiful.
what state were you, did you say?
I can't remember what state I was in. I don't know. We went to so many states
Yep.
on that. But like we were literally the only ones in the campground, and it was freezing cold. And as we looked out from the top of the mountain that we're on, there was like this valley, and then there was this sheer cliff on the other side of where we were camping, and our tent was facing this cliff.
Yeah.
Anyway, we went to bed and it was freezing cold, and we were all rugged up with our sleeping bags and blankets and things like that. And I woke up and I could see, like it might be getting light, and I really, really needed to go to the toilet. And I'm thinking, I can't get up. Like it's too cold, and the toilet was probably, like 100 meters away or something like that. And it just got to the point where I was like, okay, I have to. So I just zipped open the tent door and opened it up, and the sun was just rising over this cliff on the opposite side of this valley, and my heart practically stopped. It was just the colours were just so beautiful and so intense, and it made me forget about wanting to go to the toilet. I I could hardly take it in. It was just such a beautiful sight. And I just sat there feeling really like happy and peaceful and thankful and grateful that, there's such beauty in the world, and it's there for us, for free. And as I was thinking about this story later on, I didn't do this at the time. I said, God, where were you in that story? Where were you at that moment? And I felt like he said, I was standing on top of that cliff over there with my arms out like this and saying, look, I made this just for you. And that just made me feel so happy and so loved, and brought that joy back to my heart. And every time I think about that story, it's just immediate joy. I don't even have to think about the whole story. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you're really good at telling them, so mine won't be as exciting as that, but yeah. But yeah, that's cool. So I was thinking about mine, and mine was like just the other day, I think. I was just because my son Toby, he's old enough, he's 15, so he's old enough to get a job. So we just saw this thing saying that Domino's Pizza was hiring, and so he signed up for that and see what would happen. And then, I don't know, it was just for some reason I just knew that he was going to get it. But I just had that feeling that it was going to be like that. But then after he'd done it, he went for an interview, and then he's like waiting to find out if he got it. And then I'd signed up with my phone number, so it ended up coming through to me that he had got it. So I was sitting here, and then I just remember going into Toby, because I was really excited. I popped up, and I'm like, oh, awesome. I can't wait to show him. Yeah. So I didn't run in and tell him. I just gave him the phone. Yeah. And then he just read it, and he's like, yes, I got it. And I was just really excited for him. Yeah. And that's one of the things that I was excited about coming to Australia because of my kids would have the opportunity to do stuff like that. Yeah. In Thailand, it doesn't happen. So I was just trying to remember what it felt like, but I was feeling really excited once I got it, and just in anticipation to give it to him, because I knew that he'd be super pumped. Yeah. And then I was asking Jesus where he was in the situation, and I just felt like he was waiting in Toby's bedroom, because Toby was on his computer, and I felt like he was like on the other side of Toby, just like looking over and over his shoulder and peeking in and saying, oh, he's like super excited when Toby was too. Yeah. So that's what's my appreciation story. So yeah.
And even me just listening to that story just, brings, happiness to me, and I'm smiling. It's just,
And you picture it in your head?
Yeah.
And even with you, was it at Yellowstone?
No, we didn't go to Yellowstone.
Okay. I felt like you told a story about that. Yeah. But I just felt like, I could picture it too. Yeah. It's probably the wrong picture of what it didn't actually look like, but yeah. But you imagine it, and it draws you into the story. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's pretty much what an appreciation story is, and what it can actually do for you. And like I've said before, like if you've got any questions about any of this stuff, just feel free to, pop it in the
any
comments.
Chat somewhere, whatever.
Any of the chats, and I'd be happy to talk more about any of this stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, it's really good because we usually start all of our groups with an appreciation story, check-in appreciation story, because it does that. It turns your relational circuits on and just gets you gets you into the mood or the state of mind where you can be relational with the people around you.
Yeah.
So that's why we try and do it at the beginning of the day,
Yeah,
so we can go
yeah.
into the world feeling, being able to be relational.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a group today too, and quite a few of them were saying, oh, just, like we came into this, we didn't really want to come today, we're just tired and, had a hard time, just really wanted to go to bed because it was 8 p.m. for them at night. And they said, like, just after being here and checking in and being with each other and hearing each other's stories, how they've left the group on a, like a totally different level than what they came in, you know. Yeah.
It gets you in, makes you feel energized.
Yeah, yeah.
I like to explain it as like being given life.
Yeah.
Like you get shared life.
Yeah,
Somebody said
yeah.
that in a leader team years ago. I'm like, yeah, it just stuck with me.
Yeah.
It's like you share life with them and they share life with you.
Yeah.
And you can't go through life without real relationships. And if you have been, I would understand why you're sad because I used to be that way.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that's a bit more about appreciation.
That's it, eh? All right, we'll see you
Thank
later.
you.
Talk with our next one. Don't know what it's going to be about, but it's probably going to be good. All right.
See ya.